Hi. So, I wanted to talk this morning about boundaries. Yeah, boundaries. What a fun subject. But I'm not going to talk about it like other people talk about it. I want to talk about it from belonging. Now, I've looked at belonging and researched it, but I look at belonging from how we're processing information. And other people look at it differently. I look at it as how are we processing and always figuring out a way that we're communicating and connecting. You see, if my belonging needs aren't being met, I'm going to have a harder time with creating boundaries or having boundaries because my belonging is going to come first. And if I'm in quandary over, back and forth of, oh, I don't like what they're doing, but my belonging needs aren't being met, it's going to be really hard to put boundaries up. This is why it's so important to make sure our belonging needs are being met before we even consider boundaries. And what does that look like? Well, let's talk about that for a second. That could be before you know that you are talking to people who trample on boundaries. I'm thinking of an elephant right now. An elephant pays no attention to boundaries. They're so big, they trample over those boundaries. They're like, they're like, think about an elephant. It's a big thing and it like stomps on it and it's like your boundaries are gone. So it's something that's going to crush your boundaries. That's where you have to get on. You have to take some time with yourself and go, okay, I'm going to prepare for this. I know this person's a trampler. I know they are. I know I struggle with when I'm around this person not feeling like my needs are met, even before I get on. And I feel like there's this connection here that I go into a whole nother mode and I really feel like my belonging needs need to get met. So you do self-care before you talk to them. You prepare before you talk to them. You understand I like to bring DBT into these situations. So you go into one of my favorite DBT skills is what is the most important thing in this situation? Is it the objective? Is it my self-respect? Or is it the relationship? And you kind of have an idea of what you want your outcome to be. Those are the things that help. It's hard to stick to your boundaries if you're not getting your belonging needs met. But if you get your belonging needs met beforehand, or you do things to make sure what your belonging needs are met, it makes it so much easier. And a lot of times the people that you're having a hard time with boundaries are giving you false promises that they're going to give you those belonging needs. And that's why you're having a hard time with boundaries, because there's this false hope that you're going to get those belonging needs met because they've been promising it for a very long time, or you have some sort of connection with them that makes you feel like they should be giving you those belonging needs. Those are usually like family, really, really close family, or there was some sort of connection there to begin with to create a place for those belonging needs. So that started there, like maybe a really heavy duty romance, and then all of a sudden it fizzled out, and now you're like, but I gotta get that. You've lost that love and feeling, and you want that love and feeling back. So again, I just recommend, because we start fighting a lot of times when we're not feeling those things that we need. So start checking yourself. Start looking at that stuff. Don't get your blood pressure up. Don't get upset beforehand. Start looking at, what do I need before I start talking to this person? So that I do self-care. I threw a bunch of buzzwords out there. Self-care, all those kinds of fun words. Boundaries. I feel like I'm those magnets on the refrigerator trying to make a sentence out of all these words that I've just thrown at you. So go have some fun and make up some fun sentences that people walk by and go, what was on the refrigerator now? I'll see you next time. Bye for now.